Here are 5 things that I wish someone told me about hospitality. Number 1, you need to have a personality to survive in this industry. What I mean by this is that you need to have traits of resilience, patience, and most importantly, positivity. If you don't have these traits, the hard truth is that you're probably not going to survive in this industry because it is very, very tough to deal with these difficult people on a daily basis and manage employees that are also hard to manage. So having a personality that resonates with integrity, kindness, empathy, compassion, and just all around positivity is the most important thing for this industry. Number 2, hospitality is a very small circle. What I mean by this is that people switch hotels, restaurants, jobs all the time. So never burn your bridges with other employers. And I know this can really suck because not every company deserves you as an employee. There's a lot of companies out there that don't have the right culture for you, who mistreat you, who overwork you, who undervalue you, you get underpaid for it, and it's not worth being in that company, but you still need to end on a good note in order to have good image and rapport for your next job or your next position that's lined up for you, because they do ask about you no matter where you worked, and it's so important to just have a good image. So remember that no matter where you work. Number 3, this industry takes all your time if you want a career out of this. What I mean by this is you're working every weekend, every holiday, every Christmas, Easter, Good Friday, you name it, you're working it. And this sucks if you want to be a family person and you have values to spend these quality times with your family and loved ones. So if you want to get into hospitality, you have to be willing to sacrifice that, at least in the beginning, until you get into a role where you can make your own hours for yourself. I'm anticipating anywhere between 5 to 10 years of giving that up. So remember that. Also, your schedules change every single week, so you can't really have a life. You can't really plan for that soccer league you wanted to sign up for. You can't really plan for that Saturday brunch you want to go with your mother every weekend. You can't really do much in terms of a life because your schedule varies every week, and you are overworked most of the time, especially in the beginning on the floor. If you work for any department, you're gonna be putting overtime hours, 6 days a week sometimes. I've done 7 days in a row, multiple times. It's very normal, it's a standard in this industry, and sometimes you don't get compensated for it, so it is what it is. You have to be able to accept that. Point number 4, it's okay not to study hospitality. Honestly, you do not need a degree to work in the industry. Now, saying that, I do have a bachelor's degree in hospitality and tourism management. I have zero regrets for this because it ended up building a character that I wanted to shape myself up to be. But you do not need a degree if you want to work in it. However, the pros of getting a degree makes you the right connections in the industry. It exposes you to the right jobs and connections, networking events. And I know a lot of companies approach the program at the end to hire for these big companies. So that's a huge pro out of it. So honestly, if you want to take this very seriously and you want a career out of this, you want to be a general manager one day, you want to go to the top of excellence for hospitality, then I would highly recommend doing a degree because you probably will need it, down the line one way or another. So that's my opinion on that, but you don't necessarily need it to start working in it. Lastly, point number 5, hospitality, in my opinion, is probably one of the hardest industries to make it in. And here's what I mean. It's extremely demanding. You're dealing with the worst people on earth. If lawyers have to deal with scum and prisoners and whatever, then the next thing in line is hospitality, because the people you get, the entitled people you get, is crazy. And you have to have the utmost patience with yourself and these people, and you're basically paid to be kind to these people. Not only that, you're managing a whole team under you of employees, especially if you're a leader, and that requires you to be a good manager at all times, never lose your cool. It's very, very demanding. So it is one of the hardest industries, honestly. Sometimes you have to be willing to put 40 to 60 hours of work just to prove yourself, in a week. There's an intense amount of pressure that can literally make or break you in some situations. And what I mean by this is, for example, you can be working in a restaurant outlet and your servers can call in sick, and as a supervisor you have to literally fill in every single role, or as a manager you have to go and do the hostess position, the bartender's position, the server's positions, go on the line. Like, it is crazy to manage when people, are not there, or when you're understaffed. Like, it is very difficult to do that. So that's what I mean by that. I'm not gonna lie to you, many of the times if you're not working for the right company, your effort is overlooked and you're undervalued, which can make you feel burnt out in a company that you're dedicating your life and hard work towards, which can feel very shitty at times, I'll be honest with you. But for the right companies that have a good culture, that recognize their employees, good on you. Please keep doing it, because we have to keep recognizing it, especially after COVID. You know how many people left their jobs after COVID? I left my job because there wasn't any available for me. I wasn't in a position that was secured enough to stay in. I had to leave and come back when it opened. So we need to find a way to reward hardworking employees, because it's hard to find them, especially after COVID-19 when everyone left. One other negative con you can say is that you're incredibly undercompensated for what you do. Having the emotional intelligence to deal with people every day and being tested every single day is honestly such an amazing skill to have that you don't get paid nearly enough to do it. And what I mean by that is when you show up every day and you're being a great leader and you're dealing with issues, you're problem solving, you're being a strong communicator, you know how to team bond different departments, you know how to build trust. Like, those skills are so valued at other companies like Amazon, Apple, marketing agencies. People love those skills in people. But unfortunately, in the hospitality industry, at a lower level, you're not getting as compensated until you reach at least management. So that's another thing to consider. Now, all these obstacles are very daunting. So you have to love it. You have to be a genuine and passionate individual to work on it. That's what I personally believe, because you will not survive. Like, I'm looking at you in the face, you will not survive if you're not passionate and you don't love this industry. If I didn't like it, there's no way in hell I would be in it. No way. Like, I have breaking moments in my life where I'm like, what am I doing in this industry? I can be using my transferable skills somewhere else. But you know what? It can also be very rewarding too. So I have to look at the positive side as well. It's funny, I told you guys the most important thing is to be positive, but this video may sound very negative from all the things that I wish someone told me. But you guys need to hear this. I'm being honest and genuine with all of you. It could be very rewarding, because once someone does take a chance on you, once a company does give you a chance, and then you get into that position you always wanted, then you can just prove yourself. Even if you don't know how to do the job, if you have the personality for it, you have the emotional intelligence, you have the strong communicational skills, you have the people-centric nature around you, you can learn any technical thing in the industry. That's what I truly and genuinely believe. If you're someone passionate and you're feeling undervalued, just keep going until someone will find, or a company finds your value, and I promise you they will. But you have to also look for these companies as well and apply to so many different places. So it is very rewarding, and I can only imagine how much respect, status, and wealth you can get to as a director, manager, and GM of a hotel in the future once you put in that nitty-gritty hard work. So I hope you liked this video. I hope I didn't scare you off the industry, but if I did, then that can be a win for you. If you figured out you don't want to do it, that's a huge win. You don't have to go through all that BS of what I just said and then realize, oh, I don't want to do it. So I hope this video helped you with that. Decide whether or not you want to go into this career. So until next time.